Welcome to Bangkok, the capital of smiles, the shining gem of Southeast Asia. A city where every skyscraper is a palace of glass and steel, with billionaires sipping $200 whiskey on the highest floors, under the shadow of the golden gods of Buddha, gazing at neon lights stretching to the horizon. Here lies the symphony of the world's most luxurious shopping centers, a place where fashion brands play with prices, adding zeros to the game. But what if I told you that just one metro stop away from this dazzling grandeur, there exists a hidden city? A city that is not only invisible, but is home to over 100,000 residents of this very capital. Workers, mothers, children who live there. They eat the bread of this asphalt and breathe in the scent of this ocean of plastic. Every morning, they pass under the shadow of these towering buildings to work in the lower echelons of your urban life. Yet no one sees them. This city is Khlong Toei, the largest slum in Thailand, a beating heart that should not exist. Are you ready to lift the veil on the most invisible part of Bangkok? Buckle up, because you are about to witness a raw reality like nothing else you have seen in Thailand. This is not a journey. It's a cultural shock. Let's go. Khlong Toei is not a village or a small settlement. It is a city within a city. This neighborhood, adjacent to Bangkok's major port, is considered the most densely populated and historically significant slum in Thailand. Its history dates back to the 1950s, when dock workers began building makeshift homes along the docks. This temporariness has never come to an end. Today, it is home to over 100,000 people, living on land that is not theirs and marked by the government for future urban development projects. This means that every day, 100,000 people live under a heavy shadow, the threat of homelessness. The residents here live below the official poverty line. But the poverty of Khlong Toei is not just economic, it is infrastructural. The sewage system, almost non-existent. Safe drinking water, a daily challenge. Electricity, often illegally and dangerously tapped from main lines, creating a spider web of hanging cables that could turn into a disaster at any moment. You cannot imagine this density of life unless you enter it. The homes are made from anything that can be recycled. Worn wood, rusty metal sheets, old tires. In the rainy season, these alleys turn into rivers that mix sewage with rainwater. This means children playing in this water are mingling with diseases, plastic waste, and rats. It means mothers who must raise their children with minimal resources amidst the highest levels of pollution. Here, life is a demanding, full-time job. despite all these adversities, Khlong Toei is not a stagnant place. It is pulsating, vibrant, and full of life. You can feel this energy at the heart of its market. This market is the lifeblood of the slum, where everything from fresh vegetables and catch-of-the-day fish to second-hand clothes and motorcycle parts can be found. Here, prices are adjusted according to a subsistence economy, and every cent counts. Community plays a crucial role here. In a place where the government does not provide basic services, residents rely on each other. Neighbors create a safety net for one another. If a house catches fire, which unfortunately is a common occurrence due to the dense structure and flammable materials, everyone helps to rebuild it. This local solidarity is the backbone of Khlong Toei survival. Meet Mama Nok. She has lived her entire life in Khlong Toei, and her food stall is not only a source of income, but also a shared kitchen for this part of the alley. She wakes up every day at 4 a.m. to prepare food for the workers heading to the port for the morning shift. Her income is perhaps around 100 to 150 baht a day, less than $5. But this money goes towards her children's education or her grandmother's medication. Her story reflects that of thousands of others in this slum who nurture the greatest hopes for the next generation with the least resources. The Khlong Toei port is the heartbeat of Thailand's trade. These gigantic containers carry millions of dollars worth of goods. And who keeps the wheels turning? The men and women of Khlong Toei. This is a bitter paradox. They are the economic backbone of the city that overlooks them. Their jobs are hard, exhausting, and low-paying. Loading and unloading goods, driving trucks for long hours, and doing manual labor in warehouses. This life is a poverty trap. Parents work hard to ensure their children can escape this cycle. But the lack of access to quality education, poor health care, and an unsafe environment constantly threatens that hope. Children in Khlong Toei often face a challenge that middle-class children in Bangkok can never understand: the choice between work and education. By their teenage years, many are forced to leave school to help support their families. And this is where the story takes a darker turn. In any area where poverty and despair take root, social ills flourish. Unfortunately, Khlong Toei is not exempt from this rule. Proximity to the port and smuggling routes have turned this area into a significant hub for the distribution and consumption of drugs, particularly yaba, methamphetamine. This is a vicious cycle. Workers turn to drugs to endure long hours of grueling labor, and then become trapped in an addiction that devours their limited resources. This not only disrupts community security, but also tears apart the very fabric of families. Children are exposed to violence that is beyond imagination. In these dark corners, danger is ever present. Security? The police are often absent or only intervene in major conflicts. This is where social justice loses its meaning, and people learn to protect themselves. Fear of fire, fear of illness, fear of crime. These are the constant companions of the people in Khlong Toei. However, if you think this story is solely about sorrow and darkness, you are gravely mistaken. The greatest light in the darkness of Khlong Toei comes from the people themselves. Here, local activists and small NGOs play the role of saviors. One such group, established by the residents themselves, focuses on education and empowerment to show them that they deserve a better life. One creative project involves utilizing the space under highways to create small gardens and green areas. This not only reduces visual pollution, but also enhances the community's sense of ownership and pride. These efforts demonstrate that Khlong Toei does not want to wait for help from above. They want to create change themselves. However, the greatest challenge always revolves around land. Bangkok is growing, and the valuable land of Khlong Toei is right in the center of this development. Government urban plans include relocating the port and transforming this area into luxury residential and commercial complexes. This means one terrifying word for the residents: eviction. Residents will be displaced and receive a meager amount that is insufficient to buy a new home. They will be pushed to the more remote outskirts of the city, severing their connection to jobs in the city center. Development here is a double-edged sword. While urban development beautifies Bangkok, it is uprooting the very people who sustain the city. This documentary is not for judgment, but for seeing. To see 100,000 lives flowing in the shadows of the neon lights of Thailand's largest capital. To witness all this suffering alongside so much love, resilience, and hope. At the end of our journey into Khlong Toei, the largest slum in Bangkok, a stark truth confronts us. Invisibility is the greatest injustice. These people are citizens of Bangkok. They work, pay taxes, and keep the heart of this city beating. Yet, as soon as they return to their homes in the shanty alleys, they disappear from sight. This video was not merely a report on poverty, but a narrative of human strength in the face of unbearable conditions. We witnessed how, from the bare minimum, the utmost love and effort can emerge. So, what is our duty now? You, who have watched this video, can no longer ignore these people. Share the link to this video. This city is racing forward in development, but true progress involves both sides: shining towers and safe homes. Join us in ensuring that the people of Khlong Toei are seen again and fight for a better future. Thank you for being with us. Until the next video, farewell.